Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, we want to talk about the latest Bitcoin microstructure, if there are any changes. Okay, what are the things we need to be watching, in my opinion. Before we do that, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. I'm not going to cover the daily. I did that earlier today in the first video today, and we'll probably do that tomorrow again. So yeah, if you're interested in the daily time frame, feel free to check out the first video I made today. Looking at the overall structure, it's still my view that we're obviously here in the late stages of a fourth wave. Now we'll have to change my view if we break below the key pivot at 50,700. I mean, that's the 50% retracement. Any break below it would likely lead to a change in wave count on the larger time frame. It could be that we're in a larger wave 4 then, or we're moving in a massive triangle pattern. But again, you know, I'm watching for reversals here, but we still need to consider the price can go lower, even if it breaks support, as long as we don't have a change of trend on the smaller time frame. So that's a difficult situation at the moment because people get frustrated. You know, we are at these, whenever we are at key pivots at like market extremes, and the fear and greed index is again in the fear range, yeah. Whenever we are in these, let's say extremes of market sentiment, people get frustrated, people start to doubt, you know, people get emotional and so on. So that's a difficult environment to be in. Basically, we haven't got a trend reversal yet. I'm watching for one in this area, but it hasn't shown yet. There's a potential for it to show, but I've lost confidence given that the price action that was today, even though it was volatile, a little bit of volatility there, yeah. So we had volatile price action, but we haven't seen any solid impulsive price action to the upside. So it could still go higher, and I'm going to zoom in a minute, but it would have to be some kind of a diagonal pattern or so. So all I want to share with you here on this time frame, the low might be in, you know, the low of this correction that started in March, or we get one more low. But we have to expect one more low, I have to consider one more low, at least have to be prepared for it until the market flips bullish on the multi-hour time frames. You know, the multi-hour trend needs to turn to the upside. We haven't got that at this stage. So now let's go to the smaller time frame, maybe the 30-minute chart. So before we dive into the microstructure, you can let us know again on Twitter, on X, okay? Here you can find it here. We've asked the question, which crypto should I analyze this week, right? So every Saturday I'm updating one crypto specifically on X. On the weekend it was Rose. You find the video actually on X. Just let us know your favorites, and then from all the, you know, the most named coins, we will put the poll together, and you can then vote later in the week, and there will be one specific video about a coin that we normally don't cover on YouTube, right? So that's going to be interesting. Also, in case you want additional updates, feel free to follow us here on X, and hey, you might help us to get to 20,000 followers. Yeah, that would be amazing and highly appreciated. Also, there's lots of content on here as well. So let's go to the smaller time frame chart. Looking at that now, so we have arrived at a trend line. I mean, this trend line is not so relevant, reliable. It is slightly different on different exchanges I've seen, and on smaller time frames, it always looks different. Looks a little bit as if it's broken. I've got Bybit open in parallel on the Bybit chart, for example. On the futures chart, it's not yet broken, so take that with a pinch of salt, okay? I do find, so trend lines are not so relevant for Elliott Wave structures, but they can be useful for trading as initial signals. But some of them are just unreliable, right? This one, for example, if it's like this chart, it's this one. On the other chart, it looks like that. So be careful with them. Maybe I should take it out, actually. I just noticed that because I have two exchanges open in parallel, and yeah, they look different. Still though, what is the structure here now? So there's a small adjustment from the last video. Obviously, this is the microstructure, so we have to dynamically assess the structure as we go. The yellow wave count, obviously we're looking at a B wave rally here, right? The idea is that either we could see a more extended B wave in a WXY structure. That's actually my slight preference until the market proves that it can form 5 waves as per the white count. And In this scenario here, the Y wave is an A, B, C structure. So we could get one more wave up in a wave C. Let's see how price action is around the daily candle close. Sometimes some volatility is coming in around the daily candle close. And this scenario of a larger Y wave in wave B, or let's say of another leg up in wave Y, the invalidation point for that is the 54,330 level, basically the intraday low. The Y wave itself is an ABC structure, so it's ABC. I've actually got it listed already there in white on the chart, but this would be how it would have to look for the yellow counter. W, X, Y, and then ABC. The only thing is this looked so nicely like a 5-wave move, but I mean, maybe I interpreted it wrong. Maybe it is a 3-wave move, because if it's a wave W, it would have to be a 3-wave move, right? So that's all I can say. That's one way of looking at it, right? As a WXY structure, and then it could reach here this sort of area between 59,390 and 61,420 before another low forms. Obviously, needless to say, if we break below the intraday low straight away, then I think we will test the 50,700 level next, yeah, in a direct fashion. Now, in a more bullish scenario, which is the, let's say, short-term bullish scenario, we're looking at a wave 1 to the upside instead of wave W, a wave 2 to the downside instead of wave X. And again, you know, this was looking quite promising because this looked so much like a 5-wave move. So it could have been wave 1 of an impulse. The problem is that this here, yeah, is all corrective. So the best interpretation from a bullish point of view is that this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and this is an A, B, C of wave 3. Then we get another 4, 5. There are other ideas I have, you know, but it's just, it doesn't matter so much, because as long as we hold the intraday low, they could allow for higher prices. I mean, one more idea I have is that this is actually, instead of a wave W, it's an A wave. This is a B wave down, okay? And then this is wave 1, but of an ending diagonal, therefore it can be a 3-wave move. This is wave 2, and then we go up in wave 3, 4, 5. Would it make a great difference? No. It would overall also be a 3-wave move. It really takes a development of these 5 waves to confirm that the larger 4th wave is bottomed. It is what it is, you know, I can't change the structure. This is all corrective action, and I can, even though maybe the microstructures themselves are a little bit ambiguous at the moment there, one thing is clear: it can't be an impulse. Okay, it can't be an impulse to the upside. So that is why we seem to be on the side of caution. It could even develop into a range. I mean, nothing's stopping it from moving up and down a few days below the Sunday high and the intraday low. All right, could just form a triangle there or something. B waves can be triangles, but that is just a possibility. It is not anything I see as highly likely until I see further evidence for it. So I would need to see more structure for that. There's no point tracking a triangle if like 10 other patterns could unfold, you know. Yeah, that's the idea. So it should give you a really good idea of what the levels are. So obviously the intraday low is relevant. Very, very important. This is, again, just to repeat it, 54,330. Any break below it could send us to 50,700. Any breakout here to the upside at 58,200 would make me watch for the C wave at least, maybe the 3rd wave, but it takes another 4-5 pattern. Again, when we have those 5 waves, we have some clarity. Until then, another low still needs to be considered. Also, if we rally higher, pay attention to the resistance area between 58,477 and 61,470. And pay attention to that trend line. It's got 3 touch points, also quite relevant for resistance. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.